want to give a big thanks to Built also for sponsoring today's video.
Same question always. I'm getting tired. We could have breakfast, counting your freckles, close to the west coast. How about that? Why don't we just get
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. Today we have a bunch of cleaning to do, but we are doing this vlog style, so kind of is going about the day. I get a ton of questions, so I figured doing a little bit like day in the life cleaning type setup would be able to answer a lot of questions. One of the big questions I get lately is what we do with our quail eggs. Our girls just started laying, so we don't have an abundance of eggs, but every morning all of us take 2 raw quail eggs mixed with orange juice. It just has a bunch of awesome health benefits, so this is how I drink it, just to get all those benefits. I will put on the screen all the health benefits, but it's a lot to go through, so I'm not going to go over everything. And then, of course, my vitamins as well.
windows? Up on the 3rd floor.
What's on your head? You got a crown?
Yeah, cool.
It's beautiful. I need to brush your hair though. It's kind of crazy.
Place together.
All right, so another question I've been getting a ton of is if we are still trying for another baby. So yes, we are. Never really stopped. I know it's often a question that after miscarriage, if you take a break or not. We aren't actively trying to prevent it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm trying not to stress out over the whole thing, but at the same time, if it happens, it happens. So still doing the prenatals and taking certain steps, but nothing too crazy.
Wake up at 9.
I do want to thank Built for partnering with me on today's video. If you have never heard of Built, Built is a free app that makes assembly so much simpler with 3D interactive guides. I actually first used Built, if you remember back during Halloween, we got that 12-foot skeleton from Home Depot, and that is when I first heard about this app. It makes assembly so much easier and simpler with their 3D interactive guide. It also has voice and text, so whatever is simpler for you. All of our brains work differently. Some people need to hear it, some people need to read it, some people need to see it, and this app does it all for you. I also love that when you're in the app, you can pinch and zoom. So if you're not like 100% sure at where it's telling you to put a screw, what screw to put, this app will allow you to really get in there and figure it all out. It's also really nice because, as you can see, the app made it a lot easier for the kids to get involved and help with putting it together. This one was not too hard to put together. It was a 2-person job, mainly because you needed someone to hold on to it. But the nice thing about that is this allowed Bjorn to pretty much help Bobby with everything while I was inside cleaning. So the kids were outside with him putting everything together and just having some bonding moments. You can see here it does show you exactly where to put the screws, and like I said, you can then zoom in to see what exact pieces you're working with, what screws you're working with, and exact placement of each piece.
In hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wonder. Louder we sing, no there is no cure in this together. I don't wanna tell you that it's not real. Nothing is a fairy tale.
The other great thing about this app is it does show you exactly how many people you're going to need, how much time it will take, and how many steps are in the project. Nice thing about that is if you need to stop mid project, it's going to stop you at that step to make it really easy to pick it up and finish it later. That way you can do these projects on your own time and you're not getting lost at wherever you are in the project. You can see the kids were having so much fun, even though Bobby wasn't done putting it together, playing. I love this little playhouse. It had a little kitchen, a door with a doorbell, a doggy door, just so much cute little stuff that the kids have absolutely loved. I highly recommend checking out my link in the description below and downloading the free Built app. They work with so many different companies and thousands of different products. Just a couple, like I said, we got our skeleton from Home Depot, but they also work with Walmart, Delta, Weber, Charbroil, all sorts of different companies. So if you are looking to start a project, I highly recommend checking out this app. It's going to make the whole process 10 times easier. So because I know people are going to ask, so this is the Kids Craft Pioneer Cottage Playhouse. You can get this right at Walmart. I love it because it is a solid wood playhouse. So I figured down the road when the kids are sick of it, I can turn it into a little coop or anything. It is super cute. You can paint it if you want it different colors. I've seen people that painted it like all white with black trim to match their house. There's just a lot of really, really cute options you can do with this. I really like that about this little thing. The Built app also has many other different guides and how-tos, like how to clean your dryer vent and so on. So as Bobby was outside playing with the kids, I moved on to cleaning up in the kitchen just to get a bunch of stuff done around the house inside.
You know it's way too late, regretting our mistakes. You got so head over heels crazy. Need to apologize, we went too far this time. Come a little closer, there's something I have to say. I love you and I hate you and I hope you feel the same. Come a little closer, baby, please don't walk away. I love you and yeah. You got nothing to prove, oh baby, I know you'll do right by me. I'll do right by you. You got nothing to prove, oh baby, I know. We got this.
So I know the little stand that my sponge sits on looks really dirty. It actually isn't. It is discolored just from the moisture and I'm sure products that have sat on it from keeping my sponge there. I know I've had people ask about that, and yeah, it has just discolored over time. Luckily, it's not a big deal. It is clean, and in the end, that's really all that matters. I might end up replacing it. I just really like the look of the black with everything, so I have not decided yet if I'm going to replace it. It's not really a must. So here you can see how dirty this area had gotten, and it was like tough to get off. I started going in with my multi-purpose cleaner, but you can see I ended up having to go in with a power paste to really clean this off. You never know, there's those hidden areas that just get so bad and you don't notice it, so you don't think about it. But now that I have gotten in here, I'm definitely going to have to get better at more often pulling out the stove and cleaning under the glass and around the stove, because that was so gross. Glad I noticed it the night before. That way I could get in there and give it a really, really good cleaning.
You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it. You could be one of the things I love. Sunday morning breakfast with my bedroom door locked. I like everything that has a cherry on top. Get on my list of the things I love, love, love. You could be the one I trust. All the second chances, they are nothing for us. I like it all with the cherry on top. Be one of the things I love. We don't have to move so fast, baby.
So I had someone make a comment the other day that it's funny that I never thought about this literally until I read this comment about how she was very happy to have found a cleaning channel for neurodivergent people. And I guess I never thought about it because I know I am not neurotypical. with having a seizure disorder, there's certain things I do that is not neurotypical. But because this has just always been my life, I guess I never realized that some of the things I say and do can be very helpful for people, because not everyone on YouTube or TikTok or everything does things the way I do. I do things in a way because I know I can get overwhelmed easily. I can get stressed out easily. So I always talk about the things that I do to make my life easier, and how cleaning for me is not just something I love to do, but need to do because my brain works better. In clutter and chaos, I can get overwhelmed and stressed out. So cleaning is a way to keep things in order and make my life easier. But I really appreciate that comment because, like I said, I never thought about it. Like, for me, this is just the way I do things. It's how I've always been. I've never been neurotypical. So, yeah, very interesting sometimes to get an outside perspective of things. And if you are like me and are not neurotypical and I help you out, I'm glad you're here because I'm always just looking to help people. If it's teaching you how to clean something or helping you realize that not everything has to be perfect. Like, sometimes perfection of social media can be very discouraging, and that working on progress instead of perfection is way more important. I hope I can bring you that motivation and the confidence to tackle a project in your house. If it's a DIY project, if it's a cleaning project, if it's whatever, I hope that you coming to this channel, you, one, feel motivated, but also feel encouraged. Like, I want you to feel encouraged, like you can do anything because you can. Like, there is nothing you can't do. It may take a little bit longer. It may be done differently than someone else, but you can definitely do it. Okay, so another question I get all the time is why my bed looks like we still live up north. And it is because I need weight when I sleep, which really is kind of weird sometimes because I am also someone that sleeps hot. So we normally turn the AC down at night and we have a fan going because it makes it easier for me to sleep. But I also still need like heavy weighted blankets. It's a comfort thing. It's so weird, I know. But yes, I do use these blankets at night. But even like during the day, I'm someone that if I sit on the couch, there's a blanket on my lap. It can be 90 degrees outside and I will still sit on the couch with a blanket. It is totally a comfort thing. And it's funny because now all my kids do it, and Bobby sometimes thinks it's crazy because he will sit on the couch with a blanket, but like if it's hot, he's not going to, where me and the kids, we all need something on our lap if we are just trying to relax. If it's in bed, if it's on the couch, whatever it is, we need it. Also, as you can see, I have not gotten a mirror yet for this closet. This little area I wanted to set up as like a little makeup area. Honestly though, I use it a lot more for putting away different clothes and stuff in the house. You guys know me, I don't wear a ton of makeup, so having a makeup area for me personally isn't as big of a deal. I just thought it'd be nice for future owners if we do ever sell this house. Bobby and I have talked about possibly in the next year or two, I don't know how long, selling and buying somewhere with more land. I love the idea of having a small little homestead, and we're doing little things here, but we don't have a lot of space to really have a big garden and more animals and things like that. So we have talked about in the future moving a little bit more inland, which makes me sad because I love being so close to the water. But buying somewhere where we could get like anywhere from 5 to 20 acres and have our little homestead. You can see here, as I was putting Freya's clothes away, I noticed her room was kind of messy, so I asked her to clean it up. I don't normally show like Freya cleaning up her room. I've talked about this before because, one, when I'm filming, it's easier just to do it myself, but since we are doing this kind of vlog style, I wanted to share how I do it with a 2-year-old. It's really not that hard. You can see I help her out and will like point and show her where to put stuff, but she's really good at going through and keeping her room clean when she's asked to.
It's time for me to move on. I want you right here, but you're all across the globe. Never call me back, even though you're on your phone. Wishful thinking gets the best of me. Hoping that it's still you and me. Yeah, I thought we'd always shine. Just some time off, we'd be fine. Guess that I was wrong this time.
In the bathroom, I'm really just doing a basic wipe down. However, there was one area that I knew needed a really good cleaning. First, though, going in with the toilet, I have a ton of people ask about dog hair and cleaning toilets, which if you don't have animals, this may not make sense to you. But if you have animals like I do that shed a ton, some of the hardest part about cleaning around the toilet can be all the hair that just like clumps up. It's so hard to pick it all up. I highly recommend dusting first. I use either a vacuum or a Swiffer. Nice thing about the Swiffers is you can just take it off and throw it out instead of having to go through the process of disinfecting your vacuum. So that's usually the easiest thing for me to do, is quickly do that and then clean it. But you have to dust it before you clean it because otherwise the hair is like impossible to get completely picked up. But then after cleaning up the toilet, the big area I need to get clean was the outer rim area of my shower. I've talked about this before. Often in the shower, I will clean it when I'm in there to keep up with it and not have to worry about doing a extreme like scrub down of it on a regular basis. But this outer area is an area that I don't get to often and definitely was in need between it being dusty and then just water sitting on it, so it builds up. It needed a quick little wipe down. You'll see in the door area later that the little plastic piece that sits on the glass, I had to take off and wipe down because it was getting all dirty. And keeping up with it definitely makes it easier in the long run. This took me maybe 5 minutes to go around and clean this little area, and it looked so much better at the end. Also, this hose is connected to the AC unit in our bedroom because, unfortunately, when filming this video and doing this voiceover, we still don't have our AC fixed yet. Crossing my fingers, they are saying we should have it fixed next week. They had to order a part. Hopefully that part comes in because it's supposed to start getting hot next week. They're talking in the 90s. So really, really hoping that part comes in when they say and we can get it fixed before those 90-degree days hit us.
Cannot believe that what we had is now gone, and I don't know how to be alone. Feels like my heart is cut in half. What I want is to get back where I belong. 'Cause we don't talk that much yet.
I do have to take this rug outside though and clean it really well. It's hard to do it with the carpet cleaner because it's different levels. Like each of those diamonds dips down a little bit, and you can see here that when I wiped it like landed right on this rug. So I didn't get to it on this day, but it is definitely on my to-do list of something that needs to get done. But when I have like things in mind of what I want to get done, I could have added this to the list and made it another thing to get done this day, but then I jump around and nothing ends up done. So after I was done in there, I moved out to cleaning the bird cages. This is the not fun and not pretty thing about having quail, but still needs to get done. So we use diatomaceous earth on their trays. It helps with smell and makes it a lot easier to clean and keep flies away. So that is the white stuff you see on here is actually that diatomaceous earth, which makes it a lot easier. And then I just spray it down really well. I'm putting it in this bucket, the majority of it. That way I can actually take it to the front yard and use it on parts of the grass that isn't coming in as well. We had some workers out the other week. I think they were doing a cable line or phone line. I don't know. But they tore up a bunch of the grass. So I want to make sure those areas get nice and fertilized. That way it can come in really, really well over there. And then this little cage was empty of birds. This is where I put any birds that, one, are acting mean and need to be separated from other birds, or two, have been injured and need to be separated from other birds. It can vary, but I didn't have any birds in here at this point, so I wanted to give it a really, really good power washing. So this 3-tier setup, this is where all my hens are and a couple of my boys. I don't keep a lot of boys because it's just not a good idea. We actually recently sexed my celadons and separated all the boys out because a lot of my girls were becoming bald from overbreeding. You really only want one male to every 5 girls. Otherwise, they can start fighting with each other, and the girls can start getting really, really hurt. I actually had one of my girls that I had to recently move into the hospital ward cage because her head had started bleeding from being overly bred. So I moved her. She actually may end up going into a different cage. Because unfortunately sometimes there's a favorite, so even if you have the right number of boys to girls, one girl may get more beat up just from being the boy's favorite. So she currently is separated, healing. I might put her down with the babies that are at the bottom though once she's healed, because then she'll get a little bit of break from all the boys getting a little too rambunctious.
It's alright, just keep on trying. Glass after glass, I keep hoping you'll come around. Drowning our fights and whatever can be found. 'Cause I've given in to all my demons lately. You know.
This isn't a great angle, but on this side of the cage is the sand baths that I have for them. It's great because quail love sand baths. It's like their favorite thing to do. This is where they're always at. But also, if we have any severe weather, they can go in here and they are completely covered. There's not going to be getting wet or wind or anything like that in these areas. And it is their, like I said, favorite area to be. So I just take this little scoop and scoop out any of the big chunks. And keep it clean. And then I will add some diatomaceous earth in there just to help with keeping, that's how they clean themselves. But now it is dinner time. We are making a super, super easy dinner. This is one of those dinners that when you don't have a lot of time or you've been doing stuff all day and you don't feel like cooking and you want something quick and delicious, it's nice. Plus you can add stuff as you want. So I'm just cutting up some sausage. You can see I boiled some pasta, adding garlic because my family loves garlic. You don't need to add garlic, or you can add less garlic. I know I add a lot. I'm not going to lie. But then we are just using jarred Alfredo sauce. I always have jarred spaghetti sauce and jarred Alfredo sauce just for simple, easy dinners that I want done quick. And that is pretty much it. Now you can add whatever you have on hand. So if you had broccoli and you wanted to add it to it, some peppers and onions, whatever you want. We kept it real simple. Served it with some Hawaiian rolls. Like I said, very simple, easy dinner, but everyone loves it and it's not too much work on a busy day for me.
Giving up your dreams to your silly demons. We're diamonds in the dust.
So it is currently about 7:30 at night, and this is my favorite part of the day. This is when I go out and I check and collect eggs. Most of my girls lay between 4 and 7, so about 7:38 every night is when I go out and check for eggs. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, do all the things. It always really helps out my channel. And don't forget to check out my link in the description down below and download the free Built app for yourself. But I will see you guys next time. Bye!